If everyone will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all. All right. What a great crowd. I wonder why. What could it be? So first thing I'm going to start with is this. Well, hopefully. Come on. What are you doing? Oh, come on. There I go. So, this is what was left in front of the compactor over the weekend. So it's either somebody who doesn't know our rules or somebody who just simply does not care, and you all are paying for that to go to the dump. Yeah. Unless somebody knows who put it there. Wait a minute. Building 39. Okay. And that's why I'm shaming you all.
You know what unit it's coming from?
I do. If it's from a pickup truck, I know who it is. Okay. That was it. Okay. So y'all don't need to see that anymore. Okay, so little bit of stuff right now. 2 more days, and it's all over. Hurricane season. All right, we got lucky once again. We did not get a direct hit. However, state of Florida had one major and one storm. As I'm sure some of you were wondering, because a reason you're all here is insurance. So our insurance is going up to about $712,000 a year, okay? That's a 30% increase from last year's. And we're praying that that will be enough. We had originally put in 20%, and then we discussed it with the insurance broker, and we decided we better increase it by 10 because we've been hearing about other condos and homeowners associations that are going up as much as 50%. Okay? Any question on insurance? We are...
What insurance company are
We are actually with numerous insurance companies. Because we're a commercial account, we are with companies that take certain amounts of layer of the insurance, okay? However, probably the insurance company that we have now will only be doing part of the buildings, and the other part will be covered by Citizens, which is horrible, okay? But they are the insurer of last resort, and when you can't find somebody, you go to Citizens. There was somebody behind you.
Did you have open bids on this?
Okay, so there is no open bidding. We are commercial, and you have got to go through an agent to get this. Our agent last year went to 14 different companies. Okay, and he gave us a listing of every company that he went to, what their pricing was, whether they were bidding or not. That is what's turning out to be the general consensus, is that most places are not bidding on our community because of the age. We're 52 years old. We were built way before any kind of hurricane codes were in effect.
Any other questions?
Yeah, you got Bergie and then Frank.
How will this impact our HOA fees?
The HOA fees went, what was it? From actually 563 was budgeted last year, but it cost us 593. So you went up about $150,000 alone in that. It should have been in your cover letter about what the insurance increase was. 149,000. 140,000 is about $27 a month, maybe. I've been doing this way too long. Frank, that's just insurance. Frank.
Just correct me. Normally, we were just being charging 10% on our homeowners for the buildings. Now, you went for 20%. Now you're saying possibly 30%.
Correct.
And you only got enough for 20. So if we need to pay the other 10%, would that be an assessment down the road?
Okay, so if it comes in higher than a 30% increase, yup. Only way we're going to get that money is either if they amend the budget mid-year, which would be a nightmare, or we would special assess you for the difference. So if it comes in that it's over 30%, you will get a special assessment to cover that overage. That has happened one time here in the last 17 years. Anyone else on insurance? Can be any kind of insurance. I don't, okay. Wait a minute. She's coming with the mic.
So that covers the outside of the building?
Correct.
The insurance?
Yes.
Inside of the building, do we need homeowners insurance?
Okay, so you're asking for yourself personally.
Correct.
So, but this is why we have this meeting. This is a total information meeting. This is not voted on. This is anything that is in somebody's head that they want to ask. That's it. And these get better response, I'm sorry to say, than any of the board meetings. Okay? And I'm not being mean to the board, but it's stuff that, you know, I just have a question, but I don't want to sit through an entire board meeting. So, do you need insurance on the inside? All right. Me personally, if I lived here, I would have liability insurance, I'd have fire, I'd have theft, etc. Me personally, I would take the risk. Being here 17 years, we've had one building that had damage from a hurricane, and it was because it wasn't repaired from the hurricane before that. Other than that, in the 17 years, I've had one broken window, one. If you're a downstairs unit and you have impact windows or shutters, you're in total concrete. Now, if the roof comes off, you're going to get water damage. It's up to you. Take the risk or not. I know that people have been coming into me, Chris, what can I do? My insurance went to over $1,000 a month. I mean, a year. I would have every insurance other than hurricane because that's the one that is probably $600 out of your $1,000. That's me personally. I'm not telling anyone to do that. All depends on what kind of risk. Personal decision. However, while we're getting to Allison to ask a question, you got to remember the association in a storm will put everything back in your unit up to the drywall. Okay? You won't have cabinets, you won't have doors, you won't have flooring, you won't have popcorn on the ceilings, you won't have paint. You will have a shell of a unit with new electric, new water. It'll be brought up to whatever the codes happen to be. For instance, fire sprinklers, hardwired fire alarms, those kind of things will be covered by the association. So your risk would be any of your personal property and your cabinet. have all of that. The only thing that
Oh, no,
I
just not no
personally
hurricane
is
insurance.
that's
I
correct.
got you.
That's
Okay,
correct.
but that's what I'd be concerned
And again,
with.
it's a total. It's what kind of risk do you feel you will take? That's the whole question.
Ed Bladenberger, Building 19. I'm a semi-retired realtor from Hawaii, and insurance has always been a major issue there where the state actually stepped in and they mandate it. So I just want to make sure I understand what I'm hearing correctly, because I've heard different things through the buildings. Is that, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm a semi-retired realtor from Hawaii where insurance has always been a big issue to the point where the state stepped in and mandated. I just want to make sure I got it straight here that the state of Florida or the HOA does not mandate that the individual units are covered for insurance. It's absolutely optional. Is that correct?
That is correct. The association does not mandate it. The state of Florida used to, and they realized that it was a burden on most owners, and they rescinded that amendment so that you are not mandated to have insurance.
Okay, I have a question. It's personal. What if you got water coming in from the laundry room into your unit, or from, I don't know if it could be from upstairs. I doubt it's upstairs. The person who live upstairs is not. The person who live upstairs is not present right now. But over Thanksgiving, I noticed there was water under my floor. It didn't come from under the refrigerator, my kitchen, or anywhere else.
Okay.
It might be coming from the laundry room. Who covers that?
Okay,
My
so
insurance?
first off, you need to make out a work order so I can send the guys over so we can see if we can track this down. Now, if it's the laundry room, or any leak, unless it's negligence, like let's say we knew your neighbor had a leak and we told her you need to get it fixed and she doesn't do it. Monterey pays for your drywall. We'll fix the drywall. But if your floor is ruined, that's up to you. Even if it was like the washing machine leaking that's owned by Monterey, we only cover up to the drywall. Any damage to your personal property, flooring, cabinets, that's up to you. That's why I said I would get rid of all the insurance other than hurricane, because you should have insurance if something like this happened. Let's say you had to replace all your cabinets. What? Bring that into Grace and ask her if she can put batteries in it, please. Okay, the next person who needs to talk, just yell. Okay, don't forget golf course is closed till next Tuesday. We're doing the overseeding. Hole 8 is almost complete. We have a little bit more grading to do. I personally think a little more dredging, and then we will be sodding and landscaping that area. Definitely should be done within the next 2 or 3 weeks. We got sod on order, so we are still working on that. Just to jump back to insurance. Today on the way in, they said that there were 6 insurance companies that have left the state of Florida that will no longer issue policies. And they said that the state of Florida is the highest taxed state in the United States, insurance in the United States. Okay? More than California, more than New York. We have the highest insurance rate in the United States of America. Welcome to sunny FLA. Okay, hurricane season almost over. Anyone who has shutters, the only shutters we close are on the second floor lanais when they're on the outside. We do not close any other shutters. If you have shutters on the outside, it is your responsibility to have them maintained. There was a set of shutters that we couldn't even close because they haven't been closed in a year. That's not Monterey's responsibility. We don't clean your shutters. We don't remove wasp nest. You need to hire somebody to maintain your shutters at least once a year so that if Monterey does have to close them, they work. We close them if you live here when a hurricane warning is issued. That's it. We don't close them beforehand. If you don't live here, we close them as soon as you leave, or as close to it as possible. I don't know if anybody here actually has them. got a couple of questions actually today. Are there any benches left for sale? Yes, there are. There are 2 benches that are located on hole 4, 1 on hole 9, and the majority of the benches at the bocce court are all still available for purchase. They're $450 and $25 per plaque, up to 2 plaques right now. If you live on the non-golf course, so let's say you live at building 47 where you're not actually on the golf course, you can purchase a bench and have it in the back of your building if you would like. Those benches I would have to order. All the other benches are already earmarked. So anybody that might be interested, just so you know. Bocce court. So, little confusion of what's going on. All the pavers that are around the bocce court are staying. Those are staying. They're going to be fixed. They're going to be leveled out. We are going to add 36 inches of concrete all the way around that, so the benches now sit on the concrete. Okay? Mora has volunteered to give us the money for that. So that will be being done sometime in the month of December. So by the time winter bocce starts, you guys can all sit down without getting hurt. Okay, as I said, my part is fairly limited today. I don't have a lot of stuff to discuss with holidays, etc. So now we'll take questions on anything at all. Since she's right next to you.
A couple of things. I want
Yes.
to say thank you for whoever worked with Terminex to get them in to do our spot treatment.
Okay?
Appreciate that. You need this next?
Yep.
Okay. And then the other thing was, I know you talked earlier about the trash that was left back there. When we were walking one day and it was that third Thursday thing or whatever, or the day after, and the guys were coming around picking stuff up, we were just being friendly, talking to one of the workers here about, gee, you have to worry about picking that big thing up. And he says, anything you put out there, we'll just take it for you. So I'm just saying that that's one message that's kind of being
Yes.
discussed out there by the workers that work here. Just put anything out there. I said, well, I thought there's a limit. Yeah, we take anything you put out there, he says.
Okay, so
So-
you brought up 2 good things that now I'm going to,
So just,
you know it.
Just want to say, and then the clasps on the garbage things, I brought it up at the last meeting. I followed a guy right down through as I was walking to swimming one morning, and he reclasped literally every other one. So he was, taking garbage out of one, letting it go. He'd take garbage out of the next one, he'd reclasp it. The next one, he'd let it go, and I was just like, okay, it's just taking time, but not the time that should be taken for every one of them to be reclasped.
Okay. So now we got 3 things. So I will reiterate to all of the guys, when you take something out of that box, put the clasp back on.
Okay.
We could have a wind right now
Yeah.
that we're not expecting, and there goes the lids.
Exactly.
So I will go through that.
Just an observation, so
That's
I just wanted to share
correct.
it. Larry, you want
Termites. Okay, so we most likely are going to be switching half of the contract. The buildings that haven't already been tented, we are going to be switching to a new company called Above and Beyond. We have been working with Terminex. We've had them for, 13 years. And they are becoming a nightmare to work with. They do not want to tent any buildings anymore. So there are certain buildings, right now I believe we're up to 6 buildings that we are working with Above and Beyond to get tented, okay? I'm not going to tell you which ones because I don't want you all coming running up to say, when is my building being done? But there are 6 of them right now that we feel has had enough calls that it warrants having the building tented. I will tell you yours is one of them. When that happens, Above and Beyond will hold a meeting with all the owners of those buildings to explain to you exactly what needs to be done. Okay? That's awesome. Once they tent it, it becomes the same type deal with Terminix, where it's basically an insurance policy we pay them for. I can tell you that every building that has already been tented, I don't think we have one single call back for any of them. Okay? So we are working on it, and we'll let you all know when we get there. There was 3 things you said, though. Bulk. Okay, so we're going to be putting out the new form for bulk pickup. All bulk pickup, the big items, has got to be approved by the office or we're not going to pick it up. We're working on a form for that right now. We will tell you if there's a charge for it or if there isn't a charge. Anything 50 pounds or bulky that we cannot get into the compactor, there's going to be a charge for us to take it to the dump. Okay? These are the guys going around with the truck having to pick it up. They then have to drive to the dump. We have to pay dump fees. It's not fair that all of you get stuck when somebody decides to empty their unit. Okay? We're working on that form. Hopefully we'll have it out before the next bulk pickup. But just keep that in mind that no, you cannot just put anything out. And that's another thing the boys will be told. Unless they're going to take it to their own house, they're not doing that. I think Catherine had a...
Okay, my next question is from Ian and Nicole. The water coming off the roof has done considerable lawn damage between the two. I know, I'm talking about my unit and the one across the street.
Yep.
Okay, and I guess nobody, the people.
Just put in a work order. Put in a work order and we'll check them.
Okay, so I'll tell them.
Put whichever buildings that you see that it is and
Yeah.
where it is, the front of the building, the side of the building, whatever. Put in a work order and the landscape committee will check it.
Okay.
Oh, so this is in regard to landscaping,
Yeah.
it's not the interior of the building?
It's,
No, she's
outside.
talking about the outside, the grass
Outside,
getting
yeah.
worn out and stuff, yeah.
Okay. Also, our building unit, and the one across the street haven't been washed yet. I didn't see anything else on the website about building washing. Is that concluded or is
Okay,
still
so
going
the
on?
building, we have postponed the pressure washing only because of Christmas decorations going up. We're still doing it. It will be done. Once they're all done, we're going to go around and paint what needs to be painted, etc. But unfortunately, because this is the first time we've done them in-house in about 9 years. Next season, we will start them earlier so that we're done already by now because we only do like 4 buildings a week. And if something happens or the guy's sick or they get rained out, it's not the same. We used to have a company do it and they would finish it in like a month. They do the whole place. They are still being done. However, they've been postponed until Christmas decorations are removed.
Okay, my name is Larry Wicklander, and now you see the golf course, the shape it's in. Well, we're talking about putting a hedge along the wall and to cover it up and make it look respectable. I mean, we got a nice golf course, we just want to dress it up. And I think that would be a very good idea. Now, she's talked to Sid about it, and Sid was going to make a print for us so we know how many we would have to have. Now, this might be an expensive project, but it's something that's needed. And I think that most of the golfers that golf there can see what it looks like. Look how nice it is when you come up on from 8 to number 9. That's nice there. But I want to put some more stuff in that garden. It looks like a desert in there, but I've talked to her about it, and she said, well, we don't want to do nothing till the people come. God damn it, they're all here.
Okay, let's not swear. No swearing, please.
Excuse
I
me.
will speak to landscape.
Okay, and then, now for this assessment that we have, did that cover 25?
The special assessment.
Special
So the special assessment that you had, what was it? Sometime in the beginning of this year. The wording was for 8 and 25. Okay.
Yes.
We knew then it was not enough to do both ponds, but we did the special assessment before we actually had prices because we had no money to start the job. So does not cover the completion of both ponds. It will cover pond 8 being totally completed, obviously, and then whatever is left over will go towards pond 25.
Well,
You will
you're going to have to close down hole 8 when you do 25?
No. Hole 25 they can get to from the roadway, and it's far enough behind the hole that they will not have to close down hole 8.
Okay, now another question. Now with this assessment that we have now, there was for the TV system, and that's going to cost us $26 a month more. I mean, that's included in on the assessment.
I think it's more like $29
Okay.
is what Hotwire is going to cost. However, we are working on something with that line item. The budget may be amended tomorrow. All right, as everybody remembers, Hotwire was going to give us 6 months of free service. What we've discussed over and over and over at numerous meetings is that we were still going to charge you for that 6 months. We were going to keep that money and use it towards ponds rather than doing a special assessment. Everybody seemed to be on board with that. It seemed, okay, I'd rather pay $29 a month than get hit with another $475 special assessment. However, it was brought to the attention of the board that we're not actually paying that to them, okay? And that the cover letter didn't explain it well enough. So the board is considering amending the budget tomorrow, removing any fee to Hotwire other than the taxes, franchise fees, which we have to pay no matter what, okay? And your budget will actually be reduced. And we won't charge you for that. But then you will get a special assessment of $217,000 additional dollars. So your maintenance may go down from what we proposed. So if you're an end unit, let's say, it's $70, you may drop down to about $41 increase. But then please remember, all of Hotwire will come due in 2024. So once again, you'll get another big increase for the year that will cover all of Hotwire. This is the thinking. One way or another, you guys are paying it. Whether you paid a little bit every month or we special assessed you. We're either taking it from your right pocket or your left, but you guys are paying. So that's what's probably going to be amended on the budget tomorrow, is that will be removed from the budget.
Okay, because now you said in 2004,
24.
excuse me, 24. Okay, what's going on with the money that we're collecting starting January?
I just explained that. I literally just explained that, Larry. I'm sorry. That's exactly what I just explained to everyone.
Okay. All right. But anyway, this is what I had kind of figured out, that you guys were going to, we would have that money taken out starting in January.
Okay.
All right? And that was, I think someone told me it was amounted to about $27.
About 29, I believe it is.
29. Okay, you're going to start taking that out, and we are not going to feel the effects of this for a year and a half?
Okay. The Hotwire, you will begin getting Hotwire, cable and internet, July 1st of 2023. Okay? Hotwire was not going to bill us other than franchise fees, taxes, a usage fee until January of 2024. Okay?
Yeah.
That money that we were going to collect from you, we were going to use towards the next pond. Okay? We were going to take that $29 a month, put it in an account to do a pond. The board is now considering amending that and not charging that. It's going to lower your maintenance by about $29 a month starting in 2023 instead of the $70, an end unit would only go to $41. You will then be special assessed for the next pond.
Oh, okay.
Again, you're paying. You're paying one way or another.
Okay, I would like to put some flowers,
To your mouth.
some flowers or something in that pond that on number 9, or not the pond, but the park on number 9.
Okay, that is a work order. Put a work order in, and the landscape committee will look at it.
No, because I've been told that it doesn't fit with your plan for this place.
Okay, then that was the answer.
Okay, What is your plan?
My plan?
What's the plan for the landscaping?
You'd have to check with the landscape committee.
I did. And she told me, oh, I have to talk to Chris.
Okay, then that's the answer.
I talked to Chris, and we agreed that we're not putting anything in that place right now. And I will speak to Pond 8. There is discussion going on how we're going to landscape Pond 8 when all that work is done. Nothing has been decided about anything at this point. So as far as putting a hedge or anything, there's no designs. We're just in the discussion period on it.
That's right.
Okay.
But let's not wait until a year and a half to put the...
It won't be. It won't be. Whatever we decide, Larry. Thank you.
Table it.
And it'll be when the irrigation works. It'll be when everything's finished. We're not jumping the gun. That's been done too many times here, where let's make it look nice, but we didn't take into consideration once it's grown or is there irrigation, etc. So we're not jumping the gun. It'll be done.
Well, there is irrigation there.
Okay.
Okay, so I have a couple of questions.
Yes.
In watching other meetings
Yes.
and I devoured, like everybody did, the budget. I remember you and possibly a member of the board discussing that our landscaping was going up tremendously because so many people were planting so much here. It's beautiful. I love it. But in light of the fact of how much our insurance is going up and everything's going up, and I'm sure every vendor we have, because everybody is experiencing inflation, and let's face it, landscapers use either diesel or what have you. Right. At what point do we say, okay, we're already in paradise and the tropical part has just got to stop a little bit? And a piggyback on that is the amount of people that are putting potted plants on sidewalks. We do not own the sidewalks in front of our units. We own inside our units. Those are easeways. I at one point had to use I was on home oxygen and going to be able to throw out garbage because of things that people put out to make it look beautiful. It's a hazard. And we have a lot of elderly people that, have difficulty walking. I think we've laxed on a lot of the rules here. And I'd like to know who oversees and goes around and realizes that, there are some things that are actually fire marshals would not be happy with.
Okay. So first question, definitely agree. Anyone who plants now has got to get permission, number one. We've been doing that for at least a year, that you have got to get permission to do it. The lawn maintenance contract, we actually only added 10 grand to it, okay? So the lawn maintenance contract since 2004 has been $60,000, okay? For 17 years, it has not gone up. One of the reasons that we did increase it is that since this company got bought, we're nowhere near as happy with the service, okay? So we added the 10 grand in there knowing that we're going to be probably going out to bid and that no company is going to come in here and be able to do it for that amount. Totally surprised that we haven't gotten even somebody saying, we need a little supplemental thing because of the cost of gas, etc. However, didn't go up tremendously like we were thinking it's going to be. But yes, that is becoming a problem with people doing that, okay? The more things that are planted, the more these guys have to maintain. There's more fertilizer, there's more trimming, there's more dump fees, etc. Anyone who plants, you've got to put in a work order and have it approved, okay? The pots, that is me, board members, building reps, and even any owner, okay? So not only is it an egress, ingress, that is the fire department. The fire department has sent us a letter. You cannot keep anything on the walkway. We are constantly sending letters out. There are people that keeps chairs out. There are people that have had pots. The fire department has gone so far as to say you're not supposed to have a mat on that walkway. They have told us they will not enforce that unless we get a complaint. But folks, you can't have anything on your walkway at all. If you see it, let me know. We will send an infraction letter. We have actually gone to the point where we have gone and picked it up and put it in our shed and make them come to me. Oh, Chris, somebody took my chairs. Really, where were they? Oh, in front of your door. So,
Do we have a hurricane preparedness committee, and if so, when do they meet? Because there are a lot, I've been here 7 years now, I've never come to a meeting,
Yeah.
you know that, okay? And unfortunately, I have the background in this, I used to write governing documents and all of that. As lovely, again, everybody wants to make it very homey here, and I love that. I moved here so I didn't have to maintain
Yep.
and do all of that. I love the flags and all the beautiful little, you know, cutesy little things people put out, but those are projectiles. And it's not just during hurricane season. We can get what they call nor'easters up north when you know, can't believe it. And the thing is, people are worried about buildings. I'm worried about vehicles, okay, as well, because all of that goes into the vehicles. So is there a hurricane preparedness committee? How do I get to speak in front of them?
okay, so there is, and we usually start meeting like in I'm going to say May.
Okay.
And we go through, they have a list of stuff that we give out. It has been said over and over and over. However, there are a lot of new owners. Bicycles are all supposed to be removed. Pots, trinkets, whatever, little statues.
Even under the stairways.
Even under the
Because I got to tell
that's-
you, there are times that I want to personally go and pick those up, but I don't want, look, I have to live with my neighbors, and I like every single one of them, but they're projectiles.
Yep.
And they're cute, but they're, you know, and that's great, but when, you know, we don't know when we're going to have a bad thunderstorm. And speaking of the bicycles, because that's my next thing, I believe when I moved in 7 years ago, there were rules telling me I could put the bikes either in the stands that are already here for that, because there are some in, like, near my building, there's like a really big one that nobody uses, which is fine. Or you can put your own bicycle stand in front of your parking space. That's what I believe the rule was. Has that been amended because people are putting bicycles in front of guest spots and they're not taking them in when there's a hurricane? They're putting little things around the cover so they don't blow. Meanwhile, those things are projectiles
Right.
too. So what is the rule on that?
Okay, so you can't just use any block because the blocks have all been purchased by somebody. You can put a stand in front of your spot. However, about, I would say probably 4 years ago, they did amend it that you could put it in a guest spot.
Okay, and
They
that's what
did,
I didn't
yes.
know. Where
Yeah.
are the amendments? I've looked over, I used the online.
That
all
would
the
be
time.
in the rules and regs.
Yeah,
That would be under the-
okay, because I read all the rules and regs again that are online, but
Yep.
I don't believe they've been updated. So I looked specifically for that. So if you don't mind, at some point, it's not urgent, if we could see that, because there's also resolutions that every time I see, it'll say, for resolutions from the, I'm just picking a committee off the top of my head, computer committee, you have to ask that committee.
Right.
Okay, and that's fine. And my last question
Yes.
has to do with the budget. Beautifully prepared, whoever, you know, and everything. However, I believe it would be helpful for somebody like me who's trying to figure out pricing of things to know, in administration, I believe there's 3 employees. How many maintenance employees are there? How many, other employees? Can you tell me how many employees are being paid here? And when I added up in my head mentally, all the employees' health insurance is over $60,000. Can you tell me what kind of plan you all have, and does it cover just the employee or spouses as well?
Okay, so I believe there are, what do we have, 7 full-time and, 6 full-time and 3 part-time employees. Health insurance is a HMO through Blue Cross. It does not cover their spouses unless they pay for it. The Monterey pays 75%, the employee pays 25%. That's correct, yes. No, part-timers do not get health insurance. Me? Wow, me, Grace, Jimmy, Wes, Sid, yes. Yeah, no, I have to, yeah, I got to, yeah. Last year we went from a PPO to an HMO, saved the association almost half of what it was, cost the employees a little bit more out of their pocket. We also used to do 90% of the insurance, and we went down to 75. So, the board looks, yeah. Nils, I think you had a question? Wait.
First, I'd like, as far as Hurricane Preparedness Committee, yes, we do have that. And we start that in May, and we actually had Martin County come in here and give a very good presentation. There's a recording of that on our YouTube channel. If you want any of that information, we do have that.
Now I got to go back. Going back to the hot wire.
Yes.
And the only reason I'm going back to that, because if they do the amendment, starting the following year, when it's going to go back up, we're going to be assessed for the pond, but is it going to go up the difference again for the cable?
Yes.
Okay, so then what is the deal about 5 or 6 months? I don't get that part.
Okay, so a board member just
They have
texted
three
me.
other parts.
A board member just texted me and said, would you ask the people in the audience what they think? Would you like to continue paying a little bit now or just get a special assessment? So would you like the budget to stay the way it is, go up to $70 and we do a little bit each month? Or do you want to get it reduced this year and just get a bigger special assessment? Like I said, you're still paying for it no matter what.
Do you want to do a hand?
Yeah, you want to keep it in the budget or no? Keep it in the budget. And take it out of the budget. All right, keeping it in the budget overwhelmingly. However, wait a second. However, still don't know if we're going to be able to do that.
That's fine.
Okay? And that's because the question has been brought up. So now we have to address it. And the easiest thing for the board to do is just to say, no, we're not going to do it. We're giving you the money, and you're getting a special assessment.
Okay, the only reason I brought that up, because you didn't bring up that it is going to go up anyways, and you got to cover the cost of hot wire. Going back to the termites with Above and Beyond.
Yes.
Is that the same company, the guy that we use?
Yes.
around-
Not the same guy, same company.
No, same company,
Yes.
but that company.
Yes.
Landscape. And I know you said you just increased the budget or whatever, we're not getting the amount of service we used to before, but what about braking, man? They go around, even the stuff that like has a barrier around it or whatever, and they're like popping out if there's a light there, or there's even the light now, Monterey's light, the spotlight that goes to the palms, like almost every other week, I gotta have Tommy fix it because it's lighting up my room. It's like I'm in a disco. The whole ceiling is lit up because they're running over the lights.
Yeah, that's one of the complaints that we've been getting is that, yeah, they're nowhere near as. Yeah, I know. That is one of the complaints. We have actually withheld money or charged them. They've broken sprinklers and things like that that they shouldn't have broken. Like I said, we're just not as happy with this company. We are working with someone that hopefully they will be bidding for us that I'm sure everybody would be very happy with.
But I do want to say that it's in the area, they're just using the machinery that is too large. They're trying to squeeze in a machinery this big and a hole this width. So that's why they're running everything over. If they would just have the right kind of equipment, they wouldn't be causing that damage.
Yep, numerous times we have met with them. We've told them that same thing, and it gets better for 3 weeks, 3 cuts, and then it's a different person on the mower, or I forgot to tell them, or I was in a hurry, and it starts over again. Another, we meet with Jose, and Jose, you're doing this, and wet. We need a better cleanup, and it's good again for another 3 weeks, and so again, we're working on that.
I got a quick question. I can't hear very well, Chris. So when you said about...
You can't hear me?
Afraid not. The AOH fees that are going to go down instead of going up $75, they're only going to go up $40, but then we'll have to have a special assessment, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And the special assessment, that's a one-time deal, right?
Correct.
If it goes up monthly now, it's forever. I don't think it's ever gone down.
Well, it's going to go up no matter what, because what we'd be taking out is the hot wire for this year only.
Just this year only.
2024, it's going up to cover the hot wire, and it's going to go up. It's going to go up a lot more than $29.
Okay, that's what I wanted to be clear on.
Yes.
Thank you.
And everybody remember, although a special assessment is a one-time, think about it. We've had a special assessment for what, the last 7 years? And you might as well get used to it. What I've been telling people, think you're going to have 13 payments a year, not 12. Because once the ponds are done, we're going to start having to do all the work that the engineer put out on all the buildings. So unless you want your maintenance to go to $700 or $800 a month, we're going to special assess you. Eventually, the special assessments will be done, especially once we reach 2038 and we no longer have the land lease. I won't be here. Come on, it's only 16 years.
Okay, is this working?
Yes, I can hear you.
This is a positive note. I want you to look around.
Beautiful.
I want to thank all the ladies that showed up to decorate. They did an awesome job.
Looks good, thank you. Anyone at YouTube that can't see it, the clubhouse is decorated beautifully for the holidays.
Yes, it is. It is. And one more thing. We only have 12 tickets left for the Christmas party. They go on sale tomorrow between 1 and 3. I'm only selling 100, so if you want a ticket, you better come tomorrow and get one.
12 tickets left for the Christmas
12
party
left.
on sale tomorrow.
On the Christmas note, get your buildings decorated because the contest starts the 11th, which is what, next Sunday? Yeah. And it runs through that Saturday. And I have...
Is Building 19 disqualified this year?
I think so. Depends on who the judge
It
is.
cannot be fair.
Depends on who
No
the
one
judge
can, no one can decorate and beat that.
So anyway, you can start lighting them, but that particular week, make sure your lights are on between 6 and 9, and then all the lights have to be down by January 8th. So just wanted to mention that.
I have a positive note. Whoever painted the eye on the sailfish for our fountain, thank you.
John Eaglesham, thank you.
Okay. Sue Andrews and myself are the building rep chair people. We have a lot of, if anybody has just moved in within the last couple of years who would like to volunteer to be the building rep, we would greatly appreciate it because a lot of people have done it for years and they don't want to do it anymore. And that responsibility is someone in your building complains or you see, they come to you, you try to rectify it, and if not, you see Chris. So we desperately need new people who have eyes and ears and, will help train the new people to follow the rules.
Eyes and ear, but not the police.
Yes, we're not the police. Maybe. No.
No.
We're not the police.
No.
I'm kidding, Chris. But we do need new people. So if you're interested, please see Sue Andrews or myself, Pat Friedman, and we would be happy to bring you aboard.
Thank you.
Chris, could you mention to the lawn people, could you mention once again to the lawn people that the trucks are
Yes. Yeah, I noticed they parked in front of that building again. I will make sure that my guys move our trailer so they can fit in the clubhouse parking lot. Yep.
Thank you.
You got
Thank
it.
you so much.
You got Sasha up here.
Hey, Chris, how often do they mow the grass here?
Okay, so the grass is mowed 38 times a year. When we get to November, I believe there's 3 cuts. December is only 2. January 2. There's actually a spec sheet that spells out what months and how many times they cut. There is also, we only do the beds and bushes, which is the trimming, 10 times a year, not 12. We normally skip, I believe, December and January. Things aren't growing, and because people have Christmas decorations up. You're welcome.
Okay.
You're up.
All right. I went to ask Grace, but then said to ask you about this. The termite guy.
Yes.
That came from the new place.
Yes.
Is he going to be coming? Is there going to be a list like the termite list we had before until the tenting
Yes.
is resolved?
Yes. Yes.
How often?
I am negotiating with them right now. Terminex came probably every other week, depending on how many numbers there were. They wouldn't come unless there was at least 6. That's one of the things that we were getting with them. That how do I tell somebody they got to wait for a month? So that's something that we're negotiating with Above and Beyond. And what we're trying to do is have just a set price, monthly set price, whether they have to do 1 or they have to do 10. So that's still in the works. But yes, we will continue to treat the units until they get tented.
Okay.
Okay?
And as of now, we have no idea about the tenting. Is that true?
We are going to do tenting, and you are one of the buildings. To
Right.
give you a date, I cannot give you a date. I don't know the date yet.
I don't mean the exact date, but do we know? Is it going to be January, February?
I don't want to speculate because I don't want to tell you the wrong thing, and then you're coming to me and saying you said it was going to be done in January. It's going to be done during season, I'll tell you that.
During season.
During season, we're not waiting until May to tent.
So all these people that are renting out places.
Okay, so normally you have to leave your unit for 2 or 3 days.
2 or 3?
Yep. That's what it's been in the past with Terminex. I'm going to assume they're basically the same because there's not many companies that do actual tenting. They literally put a tent over your building. Okay? They put these heavy-duty tarps over your building. They clamp them down. They open every single window, every door, and then they pump fumigation in.
Right. So
as soon as I know, you guys will know. That's all I can tell you. As soon as I know, you guys will know. I will tell you immediately. Yes, just you can add, if you add it again, and we'll have them come back out again. Absolutely no problem.
Can we
Folks.
Can we go back to Hotwire?
We can go back to anything
okay.
you want.
You had said at an earlier meeting,
folks, please,
that one of the issues you were having during the negotiations was Hotwire had added a line in there about having a 10% increase per year.
Oh, we got that taken out.
Okay, so what's the language that's in the signed document?
Okay, so it went back to the normal increase. What Hotwire had done is they added a line, and we were the second contract that the attorneys had seen that they put this into, that the increase could be raised, it could be based on inflation. Okay, and that it could go up to as much as 10 or 12% a year. And we said the deal is done. Forget it. We'll cancel and we'll stick with Comcast. They took that language totally out of the contract. I believe we have a 3.5% increase for the first 7 years. Then for the last 3, it drops down to 3%. Okay, but that line is totally removed.
Okay, I'm the building rep for Building 27, and just in conjunction with Pat and Sue, it's very rewarding to be a building rep. No, it is. You get to meet your neighbors and so forth. Sometimes you get a little here and there, but very rewarding, so you should do that. I have a couple questions. The first one is that Terminex, from what I understand, will be dropped. Is that correct?
Yes.
What happens to the buildings that they guaranteed that were tented, that they would come back and re-tent them?
That contract will stay in force.
Okay,
There's
so
actually 2 different contracts. So all the buildings that have already been tented, that will be staying with Terminex.
Okay, that'll be staying. So
Yes.
we're not going to lose out on those
Correct.
buildings. Okay,
Correct.
thank you. The other thing is that the landscaping, I think somebody mentioned landscaping. I think they do a great job out there. I mean, it looks fantastic. And as far as the walkways are concerned, I very rarely, when I ride my bike around during the daytime, I very rarely see anything on those walkways. You tell me the building, tell Chris what it is, they'll send him a letter. And I ride around all the time, every day.
I'm sure that there's a lot of them where there are bushes and you
behind it.
can't see behind it.
That's a possibility. Okay, as far as the bikes is concerned, I don't want to open a big can of worms. However, I believe the regulation, what we decided to do, is some people, like in my building, they cannot put a bicycle in front of their spot because there's a tree there. Okay? So I believe if they had a problem with that, they would come and see the office to see if they could work something out. So what they did, they got permission to put it in front of a visitor spot as long as it wasn't blocking somebody's door. Okay, so if you live in building on Unit A, for example, and there's a visitor spot there, you couldn't be able to put the bike there because the people in that building, it's right against them.
Correct.
However, in one of our buildings there, I've seen it, is that they could not, like I said before, they couldn't put the bike there, either take the tree down, or they could put it in a visitor spot which was facing their own unit. And I didn't see a problem with that, and I think the office approved that. Okay, let's see, what else I had there? Don't mind me, just as a building rep, I get these things here, let's see.
And if you like being a building rep, you'd love being a golf starter.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay? And once you're a starter until the day you leave here.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been a starter for 18 years, the same spot in a building rep, which I don't mind doing. Okay, AB Pest, you're saying that you're possibly hiring them?
Who?
AB, Above and Beyond.
Above and Beyond, correct.
Okay. We have them come in our unit when we're going and so forth once a month.
Yes.
They come in. I think it's $120, $140 a month. It's fantastic.
A year.
Thank you.
120 a year.
Yeah, everybody's awake. They're listening to what I'm saying. Great.
Yep.
Okay, but they do a fantastic job. We've never seen a bug in the place. And if it was a reasonable spot, I think, Nielsen, I recommended you. I didn't get my reward for that, though. Okay, and the other thing, Chris, can you just explain to me or everybody the green form? How many of those green forms have you getting?
We received the first one last week.
Okay, well, it's only been in effect for a few months
Okay,
now,
so
Can you explain that to us?
All right, so
Did you fill it out?
was it actually done by Bob just so there'd be one in, just so there'd actually be one in there? So I would say probably back in February or April, somewhere around there, we actually had a resident. They came in that how do you report an infraction or a violation or something that isn't a work order? Nilsa just grabbed one. And what we did is we made a form that is for a possible violation, a question on something of that nature, that basically it's the Monterey Yacht and Country Club incident report, okay? Somebody tripped coming out of the yacht club. Make an incident report. If we have to file an insurance claim, if we have to do something like that, we need this knowledge. We need to have this. We made them green so they stand out, so they're not like the work orders, etc. But it's anything that you can think of that isn't work related. Okay? For instance, if you saw who dumped a couch and you'd fill out an incident report, you could call me. But we're asking that you do this, and it's just another level to help everybody in here. That's all it is. But we haven't received many, Bob. One since February. So let's talk about it at every meeting so people know. Put it on the website. Something. There's a new incident report. What's that now? And you can print your own. It won't be green. I can hear him from back there.
Chris.
Yes.
In case we have to replace our air conditioner, do we have the people, the installers, build the rack to get it off of the roof?
Okay. No, it's not. The only time you have to put the rack on is when you totally replace the roof. Okay? So if you need a new AC, you don't have to put the rack on. It can go right on the sleepers that are right there. Something else that people may not know, in a hurricane, our insurance, Monterey's, now covers your air conditioner in a hurricane. So if your AC went blowing off the roof, they not only replace the upstairs unit, they replace the one in your unit so it matches. That is now covered only in a named storm. Wait, Lynn. She's coming. Hold on. And that's not for in here, that's because YouTube can't hear you. Remember, you're all famous.
What about your condenser?
No, it's only the entire air conditioner unit. So if you have one part of your AC break, you're out of luck. Sorry. That's okay. No. Okay. So, all right. So this is what was offered. No, that's fine. This is what was offered. So Hotwire offered $150,000 one-time signing bonus or 6 months of free service. 6 months of free service equals to about $217,000. So we opted for the $217,000. Again, that money was going to be used to offset doing a pond or a project or something like that where you wouldn't get special assessed. This is what's may be amended tomorrow, that we would be taking the 6 months. We just won't be charging you anything for it, so your maintenance will go down for a half a year. Any other questions on anything? No. Wait a minute. Wait. Don't forget, December. She's coming. Wait a minute.
Oh, stop it. December 6th at 10 o'clock at the Yacht Club is our Christmas coffee to benefit the children from Hope Rural School. You have to come with a little something for a child. That's your admission. Unwrapped gift, a little bit of money for the school, for the kids. They get absolutely nothing at Christmas. And the response is always absolutely overwhelming. And it warms everybody's heart. So please come.
December 6th, 10 a.m. And I'm letting everybody know the office will be closed because the girls are going to it. All right? You're very welcome. Anyone else of course. Wow, just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in.
That's for me. Also, the veterans. I noticed their chart in there, and we're so close to their goal for their memorial. So keep them in mind also. They served our country, and we have what we have because of them. So, and what?
It's in the library.
Oh, it's in the library, their little chart. So you can check it out. We're so close. So keep that in mind also. Thanks.
Okay, so wait a minute. Wait, one more. Hey, she's coming with the mic. She's coming with the mic.
Now, what's my question? I had it so damn long in my head. When, I know you said you can't tell us.
Yes.
But when you do get a date.
Yes.
How are we going to know
We're gonna notify everybody in the building individually.
Individually?
Yes, we will come to the building, either put something in your door, whatever, to let you know, or the guys will knock. We will come to your unit. If we have to, we will mail it to you if we can't catch you for some reason.
But
it won't just be on 63. It will be, folks, it will be, we will come and let you know.
Okay.
Go ahead.
But the other question I have, who explains to us what has to be taken out?
Above and Beyond, well, the company that's actually going to do the tenting will hold a meeting with whatever buildings are being done, okay? So that'll be on 63, that'll be on YouTube, residents of building 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Right.
Folks, please, Above and Beyond will be having the termite meeting on such and such a date. They will be explaining what needs to be done in your unit.
Okay, so somebody is coming in.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
The other thing, putting us up in a hotel.
Okay, the association is not responsible for that. However, what we did on the first set of tentings, when they were doing 19 buildings, I believe, at one time, we did call the hotels down in Stewart and told them what was going on and asked if they could give us any kind of rate. Depending on how many buildings they will be doing at a time, we will do the same thing. I actually contacted like the Ramada Inn myself, explained to them what was going on.
To get a discount.
To get a discount, correct.
Okay, so you'll let us know.
Oh,
about
yes,
that,
of
'cause
course, definitely.
I know a lot of people,
Yes.
you know, need
Yes.
to know how much,
Yes.
where they go and all.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Which brings me to Channel 63. Please watch it.
We took a lot of stuff off of 63 that was either redundant or had been on forever. For instance, like the COVID. If you don't know about COVID by now and where to get a shot, I don't know where you've been living. So we took a lot of stuff off of 63 to make it a little more streamlined. If there's an emergency or thing or something that we need right away, we do have a ticker on the bottom, okay? So if it's an emergency, look at that ticker. Look, and what you should do, I don't do it, but you should do it. Watch Channel 63 once a day. Just put it on. What does it take, 10 minutes to go through the whole thing?
Those requests come through to Chris Davis and myself, and we feel like we're 24/7. We get them out there as fast as we can the day we get them. So it's always current information. So if there's going to be something out there that pertains to you, you're going to find it on Channel 63. And we're also posting everything on the website, so please log into the website.
Okay.
I have one more question. So I own a unit in Stewart. It's also in a condominium
Yes.
association. And I got a letter, and I've got to believe maybe you guys got notified or maybe not, that the water treatment failed
Yes.
certain tests.
Yes.
And I was kind of surprised that the office didn't send us a letter or put it on 63 or something so that people could know.
Okay.
So that, maybe you'll drink a little bit more filtered water.
Okay, so the association did get a letter that the water company had something fail. It's called a HAL, and it dropped. And we immediately called them and said they said that was a mistake. Should not have gone out. That happened 5 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I didn't even, at first it was, because I let the board know, and I said, you know what, wait a minute. So we called, and they said, no, it's totally, that should not have gone out. That was 5 years ago. We don't understand how it went. So it already happened to us 5 years ago. But we're okay now. Yes.
Chris, can
Yes.
I help end on a happier note?
Yes.
Usually on Fridays, some of us have been getting together at 12 o'clock. You bring your lunch. We eat together, and then June comes up with some crazy games. This week, it's going to be bingo, and bring a wrapped Christmas item, and we'll play bingo, and those will be the prizes. We've had sometimes up to 20 people. It's kind of slowing down now, but anybody's interested in coming, bring your lunch at 12, and then we'll play bingo afterwards.
No, we still have it. It's called Call 'Em All, and we still have that. Yeah.
Should I say it again?
What's that?
Can I repeat it or you repeat it?
The question is, do we still have that phone system where we can call you guys? Yes, we do. It's called Call 'Em or Text 'Em All. We can do as many as we want. We try to limit it to true emergencies, only because we get inundated. Last time we got 60 phone calls back. Hey, you just tried to call me? Did you listen to your message? It was to tell you that the water has to be boiled or whatever. So if you notice, most of them go out late in the afternoon so that we go home. Anything else on any question at all? Excellent. Everybody, welcome back. Safe holidays. Wait a minute. No. Nope. We good? All right, thank you. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.